Josiah was born with microtia and atresia, which is an underdeveloped earlobe and an ear canal. The ear canal is completely blocked, and then he didn't have the actual outer ear. When he was younger, he didn't really realize it. But as you get older and you start going to school, then he starts to realize and ask the questions like, Mommy, why don't I have an ear? The specific procedure for Josiah was $85,000. As a mother, my biggest concern was not being able to give him what he needed. It was his hearing, it was important, and now I felt like I'm failing to be able to give this to him. My name is Sandy Guy. I started with Liberty Military Housing as a customer service representative and eventually worked my way up to now a district manager. Some of the things that I like at working with Liberty Military Housing is what we get to do to help those who are serving us. Josiah is introverted until he gets to know you. Once he gets to know you, you see the full side of him. He's funny, he's caring, he loves others, but it takes a while for him to come out of his shell. And I think him growing up with being subconscious about his ear had probably played into it. So having microtia for him, if you're talking to him from that side where his ear was underdeveloped, he couldn't hear you. Being able to listen and hear what the teachers were explaining, or if I was calling out for him to come meet me somewhere, he wouldn't be able to hear me if he was laying on the ear that he did have fully developed. They started to do the normal hearing tests that they do for all kids growing up, but then his main doctor referred him to the specialist over at Children's Hospital. And so that's how we came to be involved with the doctor who would be potentially in the future doing his surgery. Once the time came for Josiah to actually get the surgery, the doctor that was going to perform the surgery went private. The big challenge that we were faced with is, although our insurance would cover the procedure, the doctor's office would not perform the procedure unless the amount was paid in full, but the insurance wouldn't pay for it until the procedure was done. So we were stuck in the middle with, well, we have to, get the insurance involved, but we can't do that until after the procedure's done. Giving Liberty came into the picture because I had a colleague of mine actually submit an application on my behalf, and they thought I was a good candidate for this, and that's something that never crossed my mind. They reached out to me about the application that was submitted for Josiah's surgery. The process was so easy. It was the caring that, even though it was a lot of email communication, it never felt like a burden. It never felt like they were unhappy to do it. It was always, how can we help you? Josiah's experience after the surgery was pretty cool to be able to see. Once he was released and he came down from the anesthetics and everything, and he's in the car, my husband and I are having a conversation, and then he said, Mom, I can actually hear you. And he was still bandaged up, and his ear had, the silicone cover on it still, but it was pretty cool to hear him say that, I can hear you, Mom, and that's something that he wasn't able to say ever before. This has had a huge impact on Josiah. I have seen him more confident. He's doing boxing now. That's something that he wasn't doing before. Even physically, like something that we usually take for granted, like wearing a pair of sunglasses or seeing glasses, he wasn't able to do that. And now he's able to do something as simple as wearing a pair of sunglasses or seeing glasses. Giving Liberty has been such a blessing. Everything that everyone gives, with their paychecks and everything, we don't realize how much we're going to impact somebody or who really needs it until it's you who's receiving it, right? So, it's a blessing, and like, you change people's lives and you don't even realize that you're changing their lives, because for me personally, because of that, my son is gonna have a normal life. Like, this has impacted his life in such a way that I'm forever gonna be grateful. I would like to say to my colleague who submitted that application and recommended me, thank you. Like, you have impacted my son's life, our family's life, in such a way that we would never be able to repay her for that. I would like everybody to know that any contribution that they give, whether they think it's nothing, whether it's $1, whether it's $10, $500, whatever it is that you are able to give, it's going to make a difference. And you have no idea how much of an impact that has and can change somebody's life for the good.